Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm sitting here doing a bit more crochet on Daggery's blanket, and I've been started off trying to do a rectangle, but I think it's just going to end up slightly like a granny square. It doesn't seem to be, you know what it is when you hold it up like that, it's and then that way it is longer, but only slightly longer that way. Well, I've been doing a few rows. I've started off with a little bit white, like 2 rows of the white, then I've done 2 rows of the pink, 2 rows of blue and 2 rows of white, and then I've done 2 rows of turquoise, 2 rows of grey and 2 rows of white again, and then 2 rows of purple, 2 rows of dark blue, and I'm doing 2 rows of white again. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing 2 different colours together like this and 2 rows of white. And the next 2, I'm going to do these 2 colours next after I've finished the white. I'm just using whatever colours I've got, which Daggery said just to use up any, as my samples, she called them. I think they were what I got off Carol. I think a couple of the balls I got off Carol. But as it's starting to get bigger, the rounds are starting to get bigger. It's taking longer and taking more wool to go around each one. Well, I'm having to join a white. I've used up, I think, all the little bits of white I was using here was Peyton's, what I had left in bits of Peyton's yarn. And that was the last. So I've now got another ball. This is a full ball. This was something else I knitted up a little while ago and made a mistake and I had to pull it out. I pulled it out straight away, so the wool, you can see the wool's not wrinkled. It's still good wool. So that's what I'm going to use to join on, and I'm going to show you. I showed you in a video the other day how to join on for different colours, but I'm going to show you practically the same way, just a little bit extra how I join on the same colour if you want it the same colour, and to get rid of all those little ends, instead of having to stitch or weave them in afterwards. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And here you can see my blanket and how I'm going to join on this ball. And I've left an end here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this in a knot first. And I wrap the wool twice around when I tie it like that. There's less chance of it coming loose. And tie those and pull them to make sure they're tight and that they won't come loose. I've seen some of those magic knots where they tie little ones like that and cut the ends off. I've tried doing that and it always comes loose. There's no way I'm doing them like that. So that's those 2 ends tied. And I'm just going to crochet up to the knot. And then put it over onto the next space. And they go into the space. And then just crochet as normally across a few stitches. probably do a few clusters. You need to do a few clusters away from where the join was. That's where the join there. I'll do one more. Coming up to the corner here anyway. Yeah, that's that. Because then leave a long loop and take your yarn out. And then go back to where you joined the go into the back of the stitch. And there. And just keep taking that tail end of the yarn through the back, as you can see through the back of the loops here. Just keep on going until the tail practically disappears. I missed that one. That's that one. I'll probably cut that little bit off after I've crocheted over the top of it. Then you go back to the other part that you left. You can't see very well when I'm looking over the camera. And you're going the opposite way this time. And you're going through the back part of the V stitch. You don't go on the front part, go on the back part. You can do as many stitches as you want. If you don't want to get a long piece, you can just cut the extra off. and I'll probably just cut that little bit off when I come to crochet over the top of it. And there, that's done away with your tail ends on both sides. And then you just carry on. You don't have to do it as long as what I did. I just did it to show what I'm actually doing. Then you just do your crochet over and then when you come to do your next round of crochet over there, you just crochet over the top through the spaces like you normally do, and that's taking in a little bit tail ends instead of having to weave them in afterwards. And that's how I get rid of all of my ends, not just changing different colours, but changing, like I'm seeing the same colour if I've run out of wool. And it's like saying it's a lot easier than sewing up all those ends and things afterwards. And that's my little bit crochet for today. I'm almost finished because I got up this morning, had my breakfast, and then I did what I did, washed the dishes, vacuumed, made the bed, and you know, things you do. And then I've sat down from 10 o'clock to, it's almost 11:45 now. And that's what I'm doing my crochet from. After I finish things in the morning up to lunchtime, I'm doing a bit crochet. And then I'm going to have my lunch, and then I'm going to knit my own things, which is Tommy's cardigan. After I've had my lunch, probably from about 1 o'clock to about 4 o'clock, and then I'll be sorting out my tea, and then having my after I've had my tea, and I'll be sitting out to watch the television, and then I'll be doing Daggery's cardigan, my orders. That's how I have to have some sort of order in my life for to do things, or else I'd never get anything done for myself. But anyway, I'm on a little rant this morning as well. We have where I live, we have our bins. The bin men come round once a fortnight. They come round every week, but it's once a fortnight for each bin. We have the recycle one and the other one for the household rubbish and things. And it's a few weeks ago this happened, but they emptied my recycle bin. The bin man came round, he emptied the recycle bin. And when I went out to get the bin, I saw him, you know, and he was just pulling away. So I went out to get the bin to bring it back down the side of my garage where I keep it. And when I looked inside, there's supposed to be a caddy inside for putting glass in. And they had brought my bin back, but there was no caddy in it. And I thought, well, it was too late. The bin men were away around the corner, and I wouldn't be able to catch them. Even if I could get up there, they would probably either keep moving all the time, you know. So I thought, I'll just ring the council up and tell them that the bin men have taken my caddy away, and they never put the caddy back in my bin. So that's what I did. I rang them up, and I told the young fella I was talking to on the phone, I says, the bin men have emptied my, it's a recycle week this week. I told them where I live and all that. And this was actually the next day when I rang them. Actually, it wasn't the same day, but it was the next day. And I told them they never left the caddy. They never put the caddy back in my bin. And he checked. He said, hang on, I'll check and see if any caddies have been brought back in the wagon. And he did. He came back again. He said, there's been 2 caddies. The bin men have brought 2 caddies back, but he says they're not from your area. They're from another area, Killingworth or somewhere like that. And I says, well, where's my caddy then? I says, they didn't put it back in my bin. I says, they must have put it back in somebody else's bin. And I says, well, what am I supposed to do? And he says, well, we can send you another bin, but it'll cost you £5. And I says, what do you mean £5? I said, why do I have to pay for a new caddy? I says, because your men lost mine. And he says, well, I'm afraid that's what we charge for the bins. He says, can you not go around and ask your neighbours? He says, if one of them's got your caddy. And I says, you're joking, aren't you? I says, if somebody who didn't have a caddy before now has a caddy and has to pay £5 for to get one, they're not going to say that they've got mine, are they? And he started laughing anyway, and I said, I'm not paying £5 for a caddy. And he says, well, I'm afraid that's what they cost. Oh, I says, that's what they cost. I says, you's lost my bin, my caddy, and now you want me to pay £5 for your mistake. I says, not likely. I says, I'll tell you what. I says, all me glass and everything is just going into the recycle with the paper and everything. And he says, oh, you cannot do that. Oh, I says, can I not? I says, if you can take my bin away and lose it and charge me £5, I think I can put all the glass in the recycle bin with all the paper and everything. He says, but it has to be sorted out. I says, well, you give me a caddy then, and I says, it'll be sorted out. And he says, hang on, and he says, I'll come back in a minute. And he went, hold on. He says, you went away, and he come back. He says, well, I'm not sure, but he says, we might let you have one for free. I says, I think you want to let us have one for free. Never thought nothing of it, like. And he says, that's what he said, and I just left it at that. And I think it's quite a number of weeks, actually. And the recycle things were around yesterday, and I went to look to put some stuff in my, to see what I had in my recycle, because I don't put it out every month. It takes me about 6 weeks to fill the recycle one. And I thought, I'm not putting it out every fortnight if it's, it's only a little bit. And then when I looked, there was a caddy inside the had been and put the caddy in my bin, and I didn't know. I mustn't have seen them, or I could have been out when the cold lay. But it's only right. And to me, they lost my caddy. They're the ones that should replace it. I shouldn't have to pay for it. And like he said, ask a neighbour if somebody's got your caddy, But I'm going to put my number of my door all around that caddy. It is to make sure it goes back into my bin afterwards, because I think I actually asked the young girl next door, because she had just moved in a little while ago, and I asked her if they had put my caddy in her bin by mistake, and she says, I haven't got a caddy either. She says, I'm waiting for one from the council. I says, well, get on to them and tell them that you're not paying them £5 for one because you didn't lose it. She says, well, I didn't lose it. She says, I've already paid the £5, which is there wasn't one in my bin when I moved into the house. So it looks like somebody else has helped herself to her caddy, and she's went and paid the £5. And she says, I wish I'd known about yours then and what you had said. She says, because I wouldn't have paid them £5 either. But I mean, when your bin goes missing, I mean, who else is going to take it but the bin men? The only thing I can think of is there's somebody else around where I live hasn't. And it must be around near the doors, because they only take so many bins together and they empty them and then they put the caddies back in the bin. So it's probably somebody around the doors, the few doors where I live, who's probably got my old caddy. But I've got a new one I'm going to be watching when the bin men come round next time. As soon as I see the bin men, I'm out there ready in case the caddy doesn't go back in my bin. So that's another little rant over. Now I'm going to get on a few more minutes to finish what I'm doing here. Probably just finish this round, the white round, and be ready to start another one. And I'm going to get my lunch and then start on some knitting. So bye for now. Thumbs up and subscribe.